Yeah, let's consider this too. This doesn't necessarily mean if this happens, SHTF scenario, like it's the end of crypto Web3, right? That just means it becomes trickier for whatever entity the SEC has their hands on, or whatever countries.
Yeah.
There's definitely a list out there. If you're citizens of those countries, you're going to have a much more difficult time to participate in the Web3, the true Web3.
Yeah.
That isn't gate kept by the SEC, right? But it doesn't mean it's not going to exist. There's still going to be corners of the world. It's kind of the beauty of Web3, right? Anybody can participate and build protocols of value, right? That has far-reaching access to not just United States regulated parts of the planet. That's the whole point. Web3 is intended and designed for those specific people, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, the unbanked, the overlooked, the parts of the world that the government has no interest in regulating.
Yeah.
Like their citizens' activities, right?
But I feel like, although I agree, I think even though, let's say crypto, like your stance in crypto is it has more implications of value for the disenfranchised.
Yeah.
I feel like there's still a ton of money to be made from the United States perspective where they need to figure out a way to participate or enable projects to exist within the United States. Crypto projects specifically.
I don't think today that's true, but from a technology standpoint, it would be very imprudent, right, for them to just exclude themselves from this race.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like an analogy. It's like, if the Manhattan Project happened outside of the United States, and they were like, oh, nuclear weapons is too dangerous for the planet, we're not going to participate. That said, the United States. All of a sudden, all the other countries come up with nuclear bombs. United States. They're left out, and then all of a sudden there's the losers.
But the United States has a clear value gain from a technology like that, right? That's to remain in their position of power.
Yeah, but isn't crypto that a nuclear bomb?
I don't think so. Not at some point, it probably to the United States it will be. It'll feel like that, in my opinion. It'll feel like a nuke went off
Hence, they need to develop the technology, right?
I don't know. My point is, I don't know. I think right now the United States, the government, they think of crypto and Web3 as like, how much revenue can we actually intake from what's happening here? And a lot of what's being built and a lot of what attracts people to Web3 is
like degen stuff.
Well, it's stuff that the United States citizens mostly aren't participating in unless it's just like retail speculation on Dogecoin. That's about it. When you're talking about who's participating in these actual Web3 economies, they're not Americans. But they're not Westerners.
For now, though.
Well, that's my point. That's why it's like, dude, this isn't even like generating any like real substantial like tax revenue for us. Like if we're building like ginormous ecosystems where half of the U.S. population all of a sudden becomes part of the Web3 like labor market.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I want that. That's a lot of tax revenue.
But that's like saying, in the early days of the internet, oh, we shouldn't pay attention to the internet because it's not bringing in enough revenue for us to consider doing anything with it.
Well, I mean, I don't think there was as much regulatory concern for the early days of the internet.
There wasn't, but we're talking about technologies here. So
yeah,
I feel like the internet was a technology that that changed everything. I feel like crypto is the same thing.
It is, absolutely. But it changes everything for the worse for America, in my opinion. It destabilizes a lot of what they have, as
but that destabilization power that crypto has, isn't that something that the United States needs to,
like
keep their hands on?
Hedge against?
Yeah.
I would advocate for that if I was part of the United States,
that's
council,
what I'm saying. I feel like
council of crypto people.
I feel like they're thinking about this. I mean, there's congressmen who are advocating for crypto.
Of course. But after events like this, it's very easy to like co-opt the narrative and convince other politicians like this is something that needs to be almost shut down. Right? That's actually like there's a White House. That's like the verbiage coming from the White House right now. It's like, dude, this is what happened to FTX is a perfect example of like why crypto is this potential thing that could hurt a lot of our citizens, right? Like that's what they think after they don't understand either they don't understand Web3 or they just don't agree with it. So much to the point where they don't identify the fact that what happened to FTX is exactly like a proof of concept of why Web3 needs to exist in the first place.
Yeah. We
shouldn't have to trust these centralized authorities for all of our financial, well-doings.
Yeah.
But they don't get that to the like. They see this as like, dude, FTX is a representation of the bad.
All of crypto.
All of crypto.
Yeah.
So that just shows they have no fucking idea what's going on.
Yeah.
No, or they just don't care, or they're against it in general. You know.
Yeah, I'm seeing the article that you shared. White House says prudent regulation of cryptocurrencies is needed, hinting at the situation with FTX. So you're right. They're looking at FTX as implying that FTX is representative of everything that happens in crypto, just like rampant fraud.
From their perspective, it probably is, because like this is the stuff that is taxable, right? This is what I mean. This is what they're looking at. They're seeing Coinbase and FTX and Gemini. Yeah. They're seeing the billions of dollars of volume they're doing on like a quarterly basis. And like, dude, okay, money.
Yeah.
This is actually an industry that we could siphon some revenues from. So therefore, let's pay attention to it.
Yeah.
They're not looking at all the other shit that's going on in the Web3 space, because again, that's not that's not Western, I don't know what, like user base, I guess. It's none of their concern. It's nothing they could really siphon from.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, how does a country siphon tax revenue from a completely decentralized swapping network? Yeah.
Or sushi or something like that? Like, what are they going to do?
Yeah, they can't.
They cannot.
But you swap on Uniswap, and then you off ramp it through Coinbase.
Oh yeah.
Therefore, that's tax.
That's their juice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but then they see what happened to FTX. Like, fuck, dude, we just lost like a huge portion of our juice.
Yeah, they're probably like not only that. The biggest thing about FTX is SBF being the poster child of Congress, crypto in Congress.
Yeah.
So that I mean, it soiled the reputation of crypto outright.
Yeah. So there's that. It's messy across the board. We already knew this all along. United States position, SEC. I mean, again, I think these things are obviously coming. So this is one thing to look out for, I guess, right? That could potentially have a bigger rippling effect across the whole system of the Web3 space. I mean, it could slow things down even more. We know on the institutional side, right? We keep saying over and over again, institutional money's coming, institutional money's coming. Well, if the SEC makes this position, it's not coming anytime soon, right? So all these predictions, the moon math charts we like to show, this could potentially fuck all that up, right?
Yeah.
If all of a sudden institutional grade money has to wait on the sidelines until these securities impositions are met.
Yeah. So there's angles to it though, because when regulation comes, as we're seeing it coming, it's going to, I think it's going to start with Bitcoin first. I think it's going to be clear that Bitcoin is a commodity and it's investable from an institutional level.
Okay.
And once that happens,
that's true.
Billions of dollars of volume that happens in like the regulated space.
Yeah.
Now can be funneled into something like Bitcoin, ETFs, futures, everything that's regulated today.
That's Bitcoin. A good point. Yeah, it really does all.
It starts there, and then it trickles down to everything else, which is far more complicated because Bitcoin is the simplest cryptocurrency out there.